Yo up guys, Mr. Gruss here, back from MBR Starcast, about some more League of Legends gameplay for you guys today. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. It's not live, it's going to be a spectator mode gameplay, but generally in my games when I do the spectator mode I try and talk as much about my thoughts on the champion and how I like to play them and so forth, to a certain amount of detail. But a couple of you guys have been saying that you really like my Zed gameplay, and that you want me to kind of go into a bit more detail on how I play Zed and my sort of more my thought process on how I do the sort of damage I do with Zed. Zed is a very hard champion to master. Just because I can play him like I do doesn't mean that he's easy to play. It's taken me quite a while to get to where I am with Zed these days. He relies really solely on his shadows. That's what I always say to you guys. When I first played Zed when he came out 3 ages ago, I played him and I absolutely got destroyed. I was like, what am I doing here? I was just using my Q and my E and I couldn't do anything. I was like, wow, what do I really use my W for bar escaping? But yes, your W can escape and it's lovely to escape, but the damage it can cause, which we will see in this video, is really nice. We're against the Teemo today. So this is literally, I've just found my comment on YouTube, someone asking me to make this, so I was like, well, I was trying to think the best way I can make a guide on how to play Zed. You know, I can do a video like this where I can talk about my whole gameplay. We're going to focus solely on myself, no one else today. This is purely going to be about Zed, bar obviously when we die, which hopefully we don't, I can't remember. But anyway, we're against Teemo. Teemo is a squishy, so he's not the best champion for me to possibly show you how to play Zed because of how squishy Teemo is, but obviously, you know, Teemo is a champion. We're going to be looking at how I play Zed, not necessarily who I'm playing against. You know, you can still see the general idea, and I'll talk around how you can face tankier options as well. You know, Teemo is alright, he can kite you and he can do some nice damage, but for me, Zed is just the ultimate champion. You put him up top lane, and the thing I think what hurts is when you put him up top lane is that you can lose a tank. You look at our team right now, we're not very tanky. We have an Akali jungle, I don't know what that's all about, but nevertheless, that's how it is. But then you look at their team, it's not too tanky. But for example, I played a game last night when I was playing on Zed. Unfortunately, we lost it. I think it was about a 45-minute game. I got, I think, 430 CS. That was, I think, 250 more than anyone else on either side of the team. Even though we lost, I still had 6k gold more than anyone in the game. I had full items on Zed, but unfortunately we lost because we didn't have an AD carry. For whatever reason, our bottom one went Gangplank and Pantheon bot. I don't know what that was all about, OP or what. But nevertheless, I faced up against a Shen in that lane, and I started off how I'm starting off this game with my red elixir and my 3 health pots. Unfortunately, I messed up the start. Normally, as you can see, currently I have my health pots on 1 and my elixir on 6. I had my elixir on 1 and my health pots on 2 when I was playing against Shen. So when I hit level 3, I went to press the health pot and I accidentally clicked my elixir and I got ganked and I died and didn't make the most out of my elixir, which was my fault. But even though against Shen, who's super tanky, built armor, I was still able to beat him in a 1v1 just purely by using my shadows, and that's what we'll see this game. So I'm going to try and cover as many points as I can. I may go off topic because I normally do, because I forget some stuff I'm talking about half the time. So I'm going to try and do my best in this video for now, and then possibly what I will look to do is I want to do a couple of short, like 10-minute videos on champs in general, and sort of covering more sort of what abilities to take and masteries and runes. I'll try and put a screenshot of my runes at the start of this video or some point during the video as well, so you can see that. So yeah, we're laying up against Teemo. I always start off with my Q with Zed. Your next option is do you take your E or do you take your W at level 2? I'd take your W if you're struggling against someone and you can't last hit and you need that little bit of additional oomph. But generally I'd take my E because it allows you to get on top of someone and you can really kind of do some nice sort of harassment onto them. Your main harassment tool is your Q. That's what I scale up. Some people say to scale up your E. Well, you have actually popped my red elixir here. Wow, that was pretty damn crazy. I didn't even expect that. Generally what I say is I love to start off with an elixir with Zed, because Zed, or if we actually rewind, we're going to try and cover this as the best as possible. I want to try and show you all the main points. So we slow this down a little bit, not too slow. You see here, we're currently almost, where's my XP bar? You can't really see it, can we? Let me click on myself. We land a nice Q on him. It's taking Teemo down just to over half HP. you can see now I've just hit level 3. Level 3 is my point where I go. If I'm ready, I will go for the kill. So we'll slowly chop that minion up. We're waiting for this red elixir to pop. There it is. The red elixir is now popped. And now I'm going to use my W to W into him using my Q. Unfortunately, I actually missed the Q for myself, but I land the Q with my shadow clone. And obviously landed on an E plus with Ignite, and that was GG for poor little Teemo then, unfortunately. So that shows you what you can do with your clone. You can use it to dash into them. You can use it obviously due to your double Q or your double E. Really nice. We do actually have Kha'Zix currently sitting in the lane who wants a piece of me. We do land a nice Q on him there, and you can see with the elixir, which already puts us up to 84 attack damage, how much damage it does do. The car is dropping very low, and there, using your clone to your best ability, that is what your clone is there for, is to cut bitches up. I couldn't remember this game. I was trying to find a game where I wasn't sure. I got a couple of Zed save, but obviously I've commentated on quite a few of them, and I was just trying to find one which wasn't post-patch, because obviously he did get nerfed and he could only do one E in the shadow instead of two E's. I think this is after the patch. I have a feeling, I could be wrong, but still it's the same sort of gist, just by you can't do two E's in your shadow dash. But there, showing you the importance of shadow dash and the harassment you can offer, even though we picked up the kill, because that is the beauty of having this red elixir. This is what allows you to have. You start off with a longsword. Sure, you've got a nice solid item there, but you know, you've only got 2 health pots, so you run a risk that you could be quite easily harassed down a little bit. You obviously only have 3 with this, but it's the surprise factor, because you're battling on them and you're doing ordinary damage, and then next thing you know, I hit level 3, pop my elixir, and then it's just like, holy shit. And you can see the damage we did onto Teemo there. Where we pushed him so far out of lane now, you know, where's the CS? 10 and I've got 29, so I've got a 20 CS lead on him, 2 levels higher than him, and this is where you just want to be aggressive as you can be with Shen. Just trying to use your Q. You're an energy based champion, so you have no problems about mana, so all you want to do is just trying to continue to harass with your Q. I have actually hit, well, I've hit level 6 really quickly there. Wow, dearie me. I didn't realise I hit level 6 so quickly. That was beautiful. So once again, I believe my elixir was, my elixir was still back on then. So if we rewind and we see what we've done here, oh, we got a little bit too soon. So currently level 5 at the moment. Notice that Teemo is only level 3. So once you got a level advantage in lane like something like this, and you're a champion who's an assassin like a Zed and a Kali, a Kha'Zix or something, you want to make the most out of your level advantage, because that's big damage that you have over your opponent. So we hit level 6 here. I know he's under the turret, but I know that with my elixir and along with my ultimate plus ignite, do we have ignite? No, we don't even have ignite. So I just know the fact that I'm 2 levels higher than him, that we can do this. So I ult him. I then Q him, I then E him, and I then know that with my dot on him I will be able to do enough damage if I W away, because obviously I don't want to stay there too long, because I will get turret aggro, and at this kind of level you will quite easily die from being under the turret for so long. Does look like Kha'Zix is actually coming up for some fun time. Our elixir's still got about 30 seconds on there. I don't actually know he's in this bush at this current time, so he's currently battling away. And then this is the beauty of your W. You can use it to escape move, and then you have your flash as well. So you got your W and your flash. That's 2 real easy ways to escape your opponent. Kha'Zix is obviously on the chase down. He burnt his flash trying to get me, so yeah, sure, I wasted my flash, but we got out alive and we didn't give any shutdown gold away, so which is the most important factor during that. So we're now with our first back. I'm not going to guarantee that every game you play you're going to get 3 kills like this. You know, it depends who you're against. You know, Teemo, he's a squishy champion, so I was able to slot him down. Unfortunately for him, Kha'Zix for whatever reason tried to come or he just underestimated my damage, and I was able to kill him under the turret. It wasn't really much he could do about it. It was just the pure damage that Zed offers having that red elixir on him. So anyway, first back, I always like I see a lot of pro players go for the Blade of the Rune King. I'm not really a fan of the item. That's just me being stubborn. I'd like to point out all the thoughts in this video. My thoughts are just me playing Zed. I've not watched anyone else play Zed. I only watch like the odd pro game where they have the whole commentator of the game, so it doesn't really highlight a champion like I'm doing. So I really any champion I play is always just how I've played them and how I've got used to playing them and how I like playing them. Not by anyone else, so I could be completely wrong in what I'm saying at some points, but it's just what works for me, and I think it works well. And I think if you can get a BF sword on Zed as your first item, then God have mercy on their souls. It just makes you so OP. I have 128 attack damage by having that BS sword on me. Also, my elixirs run out now. I've been able to afford boots, a couple health pots, I think 5 health pots, and a ward as well, or 2 wards because we just placed a ward in lane. So when I'm back as a Zed or any top lane champion, I always get a ward. If you've got gold spare, get a ward because it stops you getting ganked, and obviously by getting ganked it could give them a kill and it could then eventually turn the whole game around. And we have decided to go on Teemo here. That will be enough, even though we did actually W. I was unsure of the amount of damage I must have been was going to do then. So basically we'll slow it down again, as it will come up shortly. Still, we're 3 levels higher than Teemo. We've got our Ignite Nat back up and along with your ultimate, and I say with Ignite and your ultimate, if they've got half health, it's a guaranteed kill, but because Teemo's so far behind in levels, this was just an easy kill to make. You can see there, having my clone, from popping your ultimate, it brings up another one of your shadow clones, so if you can land the Q, obviously you've got to remember that you're doing 2 Qs on them. You can even do it with your W as well, so you can land effectively like 3 E's and 3 Qs on them in theory, but I generally don't do it that way because I like to either use my W as an initiation move so that I can get closer to them. So in that kind of way, sometimes it may be there to actually do that little bit additional damage, or I'll use my W as an escape move because once you get into battle and you pop your ultimate on someone like say the AD carry, they're all going to be coming for you now, so you want to use your W to try and hop away somewhere. And you see there, I kept it at the end just to make sure that I could secure the kill, even though he did die anyway. So now you were super far ahead. We're 4 kills up. You know, I say once you hit the 3 kill mark on an assassin like this, being a Kali or whatever, once you have 3 kills, you just have the chance to roam about and just do whatever the hell you want and please. And you can see this in my CS, 71 CS, were 23 higher than Caitlyn, who is the next highest scoring person on the game, and anyone on their team is 20 CS lower than Caitlyn, so we have 40 CS plus over anyone on their team. We've just stolen their red buff, so it means that we're going to have additional damage. We're just waiting for some energy here. I thought it was going to actually shadow and then use my shadow clone and then do a Q to do that additional damage, but we obviously didn't have enough energy to do that. So that is one thing you have to keep an eye on, is I think even though you can see myself use my E and you will see myself use my Q on minions to kind of push up the wave, I feel that you should try and just farm minions with your auto attack, because by saving your energy it allows you to do your W and your Q, and then also an E if you can land it. As you can see, your W, I think it's about, what, that's 40 energy, I think your Q's 50? 55. Oh, we're going for another ultimate here. I think he's... oh, he did actually survive that, unfortunately. We obviously not have my Ignite there, we just didn't have that additional tick of damage, but nevertheless, a Q straight through the bush, and there was no mercy there whatsoever for poor little Teemo. It does look like Brand is actually coming over. We have no wards to spot this, so I won't know this until I actually see his fire coming at me. As you can see, just waiting in the bush there. We do notice him, and we have our W anyway, so we were never going to get caught by Brand at that point. So now 5 kills over Teemo. Hopefully, during this video so far, I've covered the main ways you can do damage with Zed. I'm trying my best. It's a lot to try and cover points wise. But what I will do is I will eventually come towards next week, because I'm quite busy this week. I've only literally just woken up, so I'm trying to squeeze in this quick video so that I can upload it to YouTube, so that it's there for the weekend and that you guys can watch it, and then hopefully I can get your feedback and you can tell me maybe what I'm missing in this video, and then I'll try and make like a 10-minute short clip, maybe breaking down. I might even, if you guys were happy, I'd film some bot gameplay. Obviously it's not ideal, but with bot gameplay what I can do is I can clearly show you how to move a Zed and so forth, and what moves to do, and all that groovy stuff. We have got caught out here. I'm pretty much guaranteed to be dead there, That was just silly by me. Just underestimated that all the people that would be there, and damage on Caitlyn. I didn't realise she actually had 5 kills there. Dear me. So yeah, that was a silly death to pick up, and that's how you can sometimes throw games, is by doing silly things like that. Obviously, we did make Kha'Zix burn his flash. And we still have our flash anyway. I think it must have been down at the point in time, but it was just unfortunate. I got a bit too greedy and we got caught out there. It does look like the team is on the hunt to pick some other bits and pieces up there. But nevertheless, we're back, so us walking up the lane's a bit more important. So we have allowed Teemo the chance to push our lane a little bit. You know, obviously from killing that turret early game is what I did. The problem, what happens, it means that I can't get as much CS now unless I'm continuously pushing my lane. But by doing that, it means I can be up towards his tier 2 turret, which isn't ideal, because obviously it allows the option for the jungler to come in and make ganks happen, and an easy kill there. And this is the beauty of Zed. Alright, we're walking along. I've got my ultimate, I've got my ignite up, and I have my flash up. I sniff Teemo here, I see him here, I know that he's on under half HP, so I use my W to get in. I know that I'm not in range, unfortunately, to pop my ultimate on, and I know that a flash on top of him will secure that kill. We didn't even have to burn ignite either anyway, and the dot didn't even pop, he just died before anything could happen. So for me, even though Teemo probably wasn't really worth that much, I don't know how much gold he was worth then, as that was his 5th death, so I'm sure he wasn't really worth that much. But a flash to kill him was always good for me. You know, a kill's a kill, and I'd take that any day of the week. But like I was saying, if you keep pushing up your wave and you kill the turret so quickly as this, it really can kind of hurt your CS, because you're going to be pushing towards their turret, and it just means that their jungler has a better rate of obviously ganking you, because there's a lot more sort of paths to come now, because unless you're warding around that whole jungle, it's going to be quite hard to see where your opponent is. But nevertheless, it allows you to, by doing this, what I do like by doing this, it allows you to put in a nice amount of harassment, and it causes the jungler to react to this and to come up into your lane to try and stop you from obviously from doing this. And by doing this, it means that your lanes and your jungler can gank everywhere, and those lanes will be affected by this. So it all works out nicely in the long run. Brand has come over here to join the party. I got a little bit greedy trying to get Kha'Zix, but unfortunately he missed out on the kill there. I was unsure what way he was going when he popped his ultimate with his invincibility, so he gets away there. Unfortunately for me, but obviously I got away. You know, there was 3 of them there, so to get away with my life is always a happy story. Item wise, I'd like to touch on now. Obviously, I've now completed my BF sword into an early Bloodthirster. OP. The fact that what Bloodthirster gives you. Can we actually get Kha'Zix here? Are we going to W? So close. So close. A Victor with the laser beam there. Well, that will cut in half. What is Kha'Zix doing? Oh my days. And there is a shroom there, but I really don't know what Kha'Zix is doing there. That was a really dumb move by him. He could have got away. You know, the first time he survived, and he didn't even back there, and then he was back there, and we got him down to, what, 10 HP or something, and then he still decided to walk around, so I don't know what that was all about. A bit crazy by him, and a stupid death to pick up. But there you are. I'm not going to complain, you know, it's put me up to 7-1 now. It's happy days. We're on currently a hunt for Teemo. I believe Victor got him anyway, we didn't see what happened there. But he has dropped dead. He is a goner, so there we go. GG. Still the highest CS lead in the game, and obviously, like I say, where I push my turret, I've been roaming around everywhere now. But we've still been able to keep our CS lead, you know, we're still 20 CS higher than our AD carry, and 58 CS higher than anyone on their team, which is, you know, that's huge. If you count that 20 minions is the equivalent of a kill, the fact that I have almost come up to 60 CS more than anyone on their team is an additional 3 kills than what I have. So in theory you could say over Teemo, my CS is ridiculous. I have 100 CS more than him, so that's another 5 kills. So you're saying that I have the equivalent of 12 kills over Teemo at this moment of time, which is just crazy to think about it, really. You know, that's almost the equivalent of a kill every minute, or about a minute and every 1 minute 20 seconds. Obviously, it's not as close as that, as I'm sure the kills that I have got over Teemo aren't as worth as much gold anymore. But nevertheless, he has earned 6, and I'm showing why you don't want to face a Teemo as Zed. Purely the problem, you know, things can go all different ways. You know, Teemo could be doing a lot better now, but the problem was that I had such a nice early start. It's impossible for Teemo to get back now. I always think that when you play League of Legends and you get a lead over your opponent, whether it be a kill lead or a CS lead, it's down to you to mess it up for your opponent then to get back into the game. And it's still like, it's down for you to make a silly decision what causes you to die, and then they get a kill and they get back into it. I want to cut back onto this quickly, as this was quite a nice little moment for ourselves. We'll speed it up just so we can get back in the lane. So we're coming in here. We have been pinged by the enemy teams. They do know we're here as we're standing on a ward, but that doesn't bother me. So we pop our W here. Straight away we put a Q down, that's brand chop down straight away. I noticed that we have Caitlyn and Annie here. I could decide to fight them, but I screw that. I decide just to straight away put my ultimate on Kha'Zix. It could have been called, you could say it's a little bit of a waste, but I knew that by putting my ultimate on Kha'Zix, it put me, he was the closest target to my turret. Had I decided to put it on Caitlyn or Annie, then I'd have been closer to them and I would have eventually died, and I don't think I'd have been able to have the health to cut them down. And we're back and rolling. Hopefully I can edit a bit of that out, or remember where to edit, as my mum just come in my room and she would not leave me alone then. I'm playing League of Legends, or I'm not playing League of Legends, but she doesn't know. I'm talking to myself, so leave me alone. I've got better people. I'd rather talk to myself than you. But anyway, as we were saying, I've completely lost what happened. I believe we picked up a double kill, didn't we? So basically what happened there was I decided to put my ultimate on Kha'Zix because I knew it would bring me close to the turret. I think you've just got to be very sort of clever, and the way you play with Zed, just play safe and don't be too aggressive, because you're not a tank and you are squishy. You know, you may be able to do insane amount of damage, but you will take a lot of damage. You got to look at my build, and in my build I have no armor or magic resist whatsoever. Obviously I have a little base magic resist armor as from the champion Zed, and obviously my runes and masteries, which I think are more designed for damage more than anything. You know, I really think that Zed is a damage champion, and that the way Zed should be played is straight up damage. The only real item I build defensively is a GA, because obviously it allows you to have your second sort of come in, and it's a real nice sort of item just to have there, just to create any other opportunities. Fortunately we didn't have our ultimate at this point in time. I did waste my ignite, as I was hoping to do a little bit more on him, but obviously he landed his stun, which I didn't anticipate. But my ultimate's come back up now, and again the dot didn't even have to go off. As you can see, item wise now, we've now got a last whisper in our build, which gives us another 40 attack damage, which would just put us up to 252 now by the 18-minute mark. Here is Annie. She's not going to stand a chance. Victor picking up the kill there, and we are now currently on the chase with Caitlyn. Use my shadow dash in, and our Caitlyn's there as well, and that will put us on to a rampage of 11 kills. But like I was saying, Last Whisper, basically what the beauty of this is, if you look at the passive, their physical damage ignores 35% of the target's armor. That includes base armor, so they haven't got any armor on them at the moment, then you're just going to be shredding through their health like there is no tomorrow. And if we actually go back then, I wasn't sure if that was my Q damage on Teemo or what then. We speed it up quickly, blah blah, and we slow this down when Teemo comes. I'm not sure if that was Caitlyn's auto attack or that was my Q. There we go. That damage there was ridiculous. I think that was one of my Qs going through him then. So you can see where he's got no armor, and with the amount of damage I already have, and the fact that I can avoid 35% of the target's armor is just ridiculous. You know, that damage is just insane that I'm offering on him now. Try to use my shadow dash to jump over the wall and do a little bit more damage onto Brandon, but unfortunately we got caught by the tree there. The tree was too wide for us to jump over, but not the end of the world. We're ridiculously far ahead now, and hopefully, like I said, I'm covering the main points of Zed. Obviously I can't really cover too much about his shadow dash anymore, because obviously the lane and phase has gone over. But the best way I can explain about his shadow dash is that you literally save. You can use your Q to harass them, but you want to be using it with your shadow dash. That's the main way I could explain it. Instead of doing your moves ordinarily, you want to be combining them with your shadow dash, and that's the best way to explain it. If you do your Q standardly, sure you do a nice bit of damage, but if you do your Q with your W and you land your Q from yourself and you land your Q from your shadow clone, then the amount of damage you will start chunking off their health is crazy. And if you can then land an E from your shadow clone as well, and if you're close enough you hit them from yourself, they're slowed as well, and then you can obviously start chomping them down with your basic attacks. One point I also want to pick up with Zed, what makes him so strong in fighting it is obviously his passive. If you guys don't know what it is, it's called Contempt for the Weak. Whenever Zed basic attacks an enemy below 50% health, he deals an additional 0% of them. 0%? Surely that can't be right. He deals an additional 0% of their maximum health as magic damage. This effect can occur on a given cannot occur on a given target more than once every 10 seconds. I don't know why it says 0%. That can't be right. He deals an additional 0% of their maximum health. Well, that would mean he does 0% more damage. I don't know. I think that's wrong. I'm not sure what that means, but basically that's why you can farm so easily with your basic attacks with Zed, because he just slaughters minions. It's just ridiculous. As you'll see, we just chop their health down super quickly, and obviously with your Q and your E you can just farm away happily, and I think that's why Zed's really nice, is the fact of how easily you can really farm and how quickly you can farm with him. And then if someone decides to come for you, you just use your W and you're pretty much out of there if you can do it over a wall, and there's not too many of them. So as I was picking on before, I say I don't go for, I just build up straight up damage bar GA. I've got to the point in the game where I know I have enough damage and I can fight anyone I please, you know, pop my ultimate, I will kill anyone in this game right now, and I can fight them without my ultimate. I'm happy enough to do that. So I've decided, you know, I've got my Bloodthirster, I've got my Last Whisper. Now I want to be able to jump in the fights and not have a worry about my health or what's going to happen to me. So that's why I'm going for a GA. And allowing me to go for this early GA means that I can split push happily, and I have obviously have that second option of if anything happens. It's just that added bit of security, and it's a nice little bit to have that armor and magic resist there. It just means I can just push harder, and after that would really be the only defensive item I'd build on Zed. In the past I have built like a Warmonks, and I've tried a Frozen Heart, and they're alright, but I really think you lack something. You know, you'll miss something like a Black Cleaver or something like that, or the more malicious is alright. Obviously, but Zed doesn't have that much HP, so it doesn't stack massively on him. But if they're quite a magic resist heavy team, and you need that bit of bonus magic resist, and obviously the shield it offers you is pretty nice, so it's a nice item to have. But obviously all builds I find are sort of all different for every game, depending on how you're doing, how your team's doing, how the enemy team's doing. You've just got to think and build it all around there. And Caitlyn's dead there, you know, that is beauty of my ultimate, the tick there, and she's gone, you know, just like that. It looks like they're trying to set up some little gank here. Teemo, what are you doing, you crazy boy? Teemo, Annie and Kha'Zix all hunting around the bushes. What are they gonna do? What are we gonna do? That is the question. We're gonna walk into a shroom. Are we gonna walk into another shroom? Double shroomed. That has killed that. I have flashed by Akali, 2 OP. How's she doing? 3-4-3, it's not too bad. We are going to find out a wild brand in the jungle here though. And you see there, just with a QE combo, how much HP we actually took him down. And you can see there, with obviously with the bonus R passive, we can easily fight him in a 1v1. And he put his whole combo down on me there. Obviously he chucked his ultimate, he landed his stun. He landed every single move possible on me then, but I was still able to battle through. And I have no magic resist on me at the moment either at this point in time. Obviously he's not fair, and obviously his ultimate didn't bounce off like between minions and obviously other allied champions like what it could do. But you know, we're easily able to stand there whilst being stunned as well, and still able to come out and kill him. Just showing the pure powers of Zed. You know, 14 to 1 to 3. 176 CS. You know, that's still 70 CS more than anyone on, or more than Caitlyn, their AD carry on the team. After that, it's pretty dismal if you look at Annie. Annie's a support actually, but Teemo with a 50 CS, Kha'Zix with a 70, Brown with 58. Nothing really special going on for their team, just probably because purely how hard we're winning and pushing them just out of their farm. And then that's what's important. The farm is really important on this game. I think farm is the most important thing, and I always say it on StarCraft 2. It's not about army size; it's about having a big enough economy to power your army size. Like, sure, on StarCraft, for example, 'cause I think StarCraft and League are related in the same sort of way, because they're both strategy games and they both resolve the same kind of thinking. You know, with StarCraft, if you rush an army, then you don't have the economy to support you late game. So if you, for example, on here, if you rush to try and get kills and you're missing out on CS, come late game, if you don't get those kills, then it's really going to hurt you. Whilst if you have CS, the value of that CS is always going to stay the same, and will make a big difference. And you can see that in my items now. Obviously I do have 14 kills on myself, but the fact that I have 130 CS over my laning partner is just ridiculous. It's unthinkable, really, and it just shows you how the dominance I actually had in that lane. But come 25 minutes in now, we've now completed our Guardian's Angel. Going to be looking at our finest point now with our Bloodthirster and Last Whisper. So literally we're going to be pretty much unkillable. You know, we get dropped and our GA comes down, and by the time we revive from our GA, we could either possibly flash away, or most likely our W will be back up, so we can kind of W away, and we're pretty much guaranteed to escape from a team fight as long as we're not the only one kind of standing there, and there's like 5 of us all standing over my dead body. Kha'Zix is here, no ultimate up at the moment, but we'll be able to push him away. Obviously we have made him leap there, so scared him off, and just waiting for time for our ultimate. I believe we haven't actually completed our boots yet. I like to go for cooldown boots with Zed, just so that I can spam my QE combo a lot more, and obviously it helps my ultimate as well. And that's obviously the benefit of having the black cleaver, because it gives you that 10% cooldown reduction as well, which is nice. So we are now dominating, 15 kills. There we went, Kha'Zix, easy enough. Didn't have to use our ultimate for that, just our WQ and E combo, showing you the pure power of that. Oh, in direct camera mode I see now. And I think the beauty of Zed as well for team fights here is, all I can say is it's just all about your W. Your W is what makes Zed Zed. Just try and harass as much as you possibly can with him. Using your W to give you that little bit of extra range between your opponent, and then obviously landing the Q is beautiful. Chucked our Ignite and ultimate onto Brand there to secure the kill. Obviously Victor did pick it up, but it's knocked Brand out of the fight, and it means that they're missing their main AP caster now, so that we can easily start pushing a turret or try and make something happen elsewhere. And that's the beauty of Zed. With Zed, you stand there and I go, who do I want to pick on today? I want the AD carry, so I have my Ignite and I have my ultimate ready. I pop that onto the AD carry, and the AD carry is now dead, and now they miss their main champion in the team fight. You know, without an AD carry, they're just going to be struggling so much. See the damage me and Victor put on there. Unfortunately, Caitlyn did get away, but she had to burn her flash to do so. But yeah, the damage just from my W and Q then, along with Victor's laser beam, was just pew pew pew. So yeah, GG in that respect. Well, quick look at our goal count. Looks like we are going to be fighting Kha'Zix here. Kha'Zix will leap away. Carney has Shadow kicked onto him. She will become unstoppable. Will Teemo be able to... Our Teemo already has a kill. Who the hell's been feeding up Teemo? Here is Annie sitting in this bush. Oh, she has chucked down Mr. Tibbers down onto me, along with the exhaust. We have flashed away, along with our W as well. Annie is still on the chase. What has she done? Oh, she hit me. Unfortunately, she hit me. I was trying to... I know I was trying to do that. I was trying to get a Q into her so that I could pick up the kill, but unfortunately I was sitting on the ward, so she was able to use her Q on me, which was just a bit unfortunate. I did actually tried to take the bullet for Victor then, but unfortunately I couldn't get close enough to him, even though I did use my W to try and close down the gap. But that was just the way it went, unfortunately. Unfortunately, we do lose our GA now, which is a 5-minute cooldown, but obviously it's better than dying, but it's never ideal, you know. It means I've just got to be a little bit more wary in the next team fight. But gold wise, we'll have a quick rundown on gold. I have 12,200 compared to Teemo, who only has 5,000, so I have easily double his gold at this moment in time. This is why I want to pick up on farm, and this is why farm is important. You can see that I have 15 kills, I have 1 death, and I have 6 assists. You compare myself to Caitlyn, who only has 6 kills, she has 10 deaths and 6 assists. We have the same amount of assists, and I have 9 kills more than her and 5 deaths less, which deaths doesn't really matter, but the kills does. So there's a 9 kill difference, and there's only a 16 CS difference. Yeah, there's only, oh, she just picked up a kill there, so she's got 8 kills different. There's only a 1,400, there was only like 1,400 gold difference then, and that just purely shows you, even though I still had like 8 or 9 kills more than her, there's only 1,400 gold difference. It's just crazy, and the reason because that is because of how much she's kept up on her farm, and that's why I mean farm is so important, because farm is what carries you through the game, not your kills. If you watch all the pro games, you know, at my level of kind of gameplay with the people that I play with, people are really too aggressive and they don't play safe, and that's why you can kind of get a lot of kills like I have. You know, 16 kills. You know, in the pro game, it's kind of unheard of unless this team's dominating someone, or someone gets to an early point where they're fed and they can kind of do what I am doing. You know, it can happen, but generally you'll find that pro players play safe, and all they're interested in is farming, unless a gank happens and they can make a kind of a play happen. It's all about farming, because farming is what equals gold, and gold is what wins you games, because gold can buy you bigger items. And that is all I can say really. It's just farm, farm, farm. Farm is the most important thing. You have a good farm, then you're gonna have good items, which means you can do good damage, and eventually you're only gonna win the game through that. So yeah, we're gonna touch on items once again. We've got to the 31-minute mark now. 16 kills, 216 CS, you know. Like I say, my farm isn't as high as what I want it to be because of how quickly we killed top lane, and then where we've just been roaming about after that, obviously trying to get kills instead. Completely missed Caitlyn in the bush there. Not the end of the world, she must be shitting her pants. But she gets away. But item wise now, we've now got our Bloodthirster. GA's halfway to being back up. We have a Last Whisper. We've completed our cooldown boots. I believe that I bought the Captain boots, which grant me 8 movement speed to nearby approaching allied champions and minions getting them burnt. Dear me, I'm losing my voice. Gain an additional 20 speed. Oh, that damage there was ridiculous. Obviously, Fresh did pick up the kill then, but you could see the potential that what happened there from just popping my ultimate onto Brand. Got absolutely slaughtered. I bought those boots by an accident by the looks of things. Generally, I'd go for the speed boots so you can get out of base really quickly and you're like really fast. And Zed looks really cool because he's just like flying along. It's like, so I was just a misclick that I got those, but it's not the end of the world. And I've now got my brutalizer there, which is a real nice item because even though the Black Cleaver is a little bit stronger, but just purely having a brutalizer there, the fact that it gives you the damage and then you get 10% cooldown reduction and that armor penetration is just really nice. It's just a base kind of base item just to have there ticking away, because it's the same amount of cooldown that the Black Cleaver would give you anyway, so it works out nicely, I think. So we're only literally 2 items away, or one and a half items away from having a full set build on to Zed at this moment in time. Had we had a bit more CS, then we'd be looking a little bit closer, but we probably wouldn't have the same amount of kills as what we do at the moment. So yeah, life is looking good. Like I say, hopefully I've covered the best I can. I don't know. I think really for me to cover more on Zed's moves and stuff is to, like I say, possibly do some kind of little short bot video, just do little clips of me fighting bots maybe, where I can show you how to position yourself for your W, where you want to position yourself. Obviously bots don't think the same way, but I'd just cut all the clips up just to show you the sort of main highlights on how you want to be kind of positioning yourself as Zed. You know, it's all about positioning and so forth. Popping my ultimate onto, whoa, she got a duck at me, I just got a double kill. Oh, I see what I was doing there now. I didn't realise I had my GA up. I was about to say I was crazy to think that I'd go in there. I didn't have my GA up. It literally, the luck of that come up just as I went into it. So I realised that Fresh got the hook there, popped my ultimate onto Annie, along with my Q. She doesn't actually die from my my tick there, obviously, as I didn't land enough combo. And even though we didn't die during it, somehow our GA come back up just up in time, so I had Kha'Zix got there a little bit quicker than we'd have been alright anyway. So that shows you why I like to use my W as an escape route. Luckily we had vision in there, and obviously Fresh's hook pulled Annie close enough to the wall there where I could land my ultimate, picked up the double kill, and where I still had my W available I was able to dash over the wall and kept my GA, and it kept myself alive, and it was all happy days. Didn't give any shutdown gold or anything. Obviously the only death we had was at the start so far, where we stupidly walked into all those bunch of people. You know, what a dumb death to have, to ruin my flawless game, but that is the way it goes sometimes. That is life, unfortunately. But we're currently 16 gold up on the opponents, looking pretty damn handy. But yeah, so I don't know. Like I say, I'm generally in all my videos I just try and explain my thoughts and my thinking process of what I've done, and I've never really done a guide of a Champion League, so hopefully I have covered all the main points with Zed. I think I have, and I've covered, I believe, on how to do his damage and so forth, but I think the best way for me is to make a short, like 10-minute video explaining what you do with his Q, and what you do with his Q, maybe what items are nice on him. Maybe I'll just get a couple of pictures and we can merge them up or something. Like I say, I'll try and put my runes and masteries as a little still JPEG at the start of the game, so you can see that. So yeah, I don't know what else I could really cover during this video. I'm sure there's a couple of points that I missed out on, but that's the beauty of YouTube. You know, when I upload this video, you guys can tell me what I've missed out on, and if I do get around to doing a short little 10-minute clip video, then you guys can point out what you'd like me to include in it, and that's what we can do. I think that's probably the best way to get around this. It does look like the game is going to be coming to an end. It looks like there's only 2 minutes left on the clock in total. Is there any more kills to be had though? 18 kills at the moment. Still, well, we have 200 CS more than Teemo. Teemo really has not done anything this game. He has not picked up a CS at all. Dearie me, poor guy. He got absolutely messed up this game. So we're hunting. The GA is up. Our ultimate is back up, actually. It just come back up. Flash and Ignite's back up. So we have everything ready. It's just purely waiting to see if a moment arises where I think there's a nice opportunity to kill someone. Looks like we are going to be backing off though. Looking to possibly kill Dragon, maybe. Looks like the way it's going to go. And there it is. So along with Victor and Fresh, we're going to be able to easily pick away Dragon now. Nice amount of gold to go into the bank. We are going to back away. There's only a minute left on the game, so I don't know if there's actually going to be another kill from ourselves. I think they may just surrender, which is a bit of a shame. And saying that, I generally don't buy Blade and Ring King. I just actually bought it straight out then. I don't know why I don't know. Let's have a quick look at Blade and Ring King, because it's never really an item that's really interested me that much. 25 attack damage, 40% attack speed, 50% lifesteal. Basic attack deals 5% of the target's current health and bonus physical damage. That's not too bad. And obviously you have the active, which is the slow. So it is a nice item. It's a nice item with Zed and Vayne, because you're an assassin and it slows them, and then you can then get on top of them. But I don't know, yeah, it is an alright item, but generally people try and rush it as a first item, but for me I like to rush a Bloodthirst at first item, purely because it just does bare damage, and that's the way I look at it, and I know it does insane damage. Teemo is currently standing there invisible, and he will get away with it. We don't know he's there. Oh, we do now. Bit of a wasted ultimate. I probably don't really need to pop my ultimate on top of him then. I'd probably quite easily killed him with a Q and a W combo, but nevertheless, the kill's a kill. We are fighting Caitlyn here. Victor will pick up a double kill. They will pick up Kha'Zix. Oh no, I didn't flash. I thought I flashed them, which I didn't. But luckily our GA saved us, and that's why I think a GA is nice on Zed, because it allows you to do what I just did there. So, that is the video coming to an end. Hopefully I've covered as much as what I can cover with Zed. I don't know, it's hard to say, because until I get your feedback from you guys, I don't really know what I have done. And, what I have done right, but hopefully I've covered as much as possible. Obviously, Teemo is a squishy champion, so he's not the greatest example to show you on how to. I don't know. You're gonna face against champions that are squishy like Teemo. There are a lot of it, or not as squishy as Teemo, but there are champions that you can do the same thing to. Obviously, you wouldn't be able to kind of do the same thing to a Shen, but you could beat them, but not as quickly as what I did against Teemo there. But it's just purely a nice real start, getting the most out of my red elixir. And finishing on 20 kills to 1 death and 12 assists. It's not bad going at all. 274 CS. Gold wise, we had 17.5k on the bank. 2k more than Caitlyn the Victor on our team. So we were looking nice and healthy in that respect. So GG. So let me know what you guys thought of the video. If you think there's a couple of points missed, and then I'll try and make a shorter video, possibly with bots, or maybe try and get some mashup of actual PvP gameplay. If it was bots, it wouldn't be a whole bot gameplay video, it'd just be images of bots, me showing you how to position yourself to do your moves and so forth, and speaking over it and all that good shaz. But yeah, nevertheless, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Take it easy and have a good day. Peace.